And there we go. So we can totally mastermind on building reminders to focus on the good times. What do you guys do to try to keep things positive and stay focused on the positives versus the negatives?
Well, I'm visual. So I love that you mentioned that you found things that reminded you, because I need like physical reminders a lot of the times. So that's always my first go-to, is something physical to remind me of something, especially like photos, because I'm a photographer, and that's my go-to, is capturing the good times to remember them.
So I have a question around that, regarding that kind of. So in this day and age, everybody's got digital pictures. Everybody's taking pictures with their phone. Nobody's got like a camera that you go and print pictures anymore. You know, once in a while oh, that's a really good one, we got to print that and frame it. But for me, like, especially, so I'm big on time hop. I don't know where I ever got started on it, but I time hop every day, and I'm like on day 3000 something. So looking through time hop memories, I'm like, why didn't I ever print this picture? Why didn't I frame this? Why isn't it hanging up somewhere? And you know, along those lines, Brian just mentioned, you know, moving to a new house. Like, he went through 6 years of conversation, because we've almost always talked on Facebook Messenger, so you don't lose any of the history. So he's gone through almost all of it, and like had this idea to turn a wall of our bedroom into like a timeline of our relationship. But like that too made me think about, I don't hardly ever print pictures anymore. You know, back in the day, you used to have to print them to see what you had.
Yeah, I used to get photo books all the time. And I love that. I love being able to do that. But I mean, even as a photographer, the pictures that I print, it happens like once a year. You know, it is a novelty thing. And I think part of that could be, you know, clutter. You know, people don't want to continuously, you know, have more books and more things, because, right, if you're someone like me that documents everyday life, that's overwhelming to think about. But that's why I chose, for like family photos, for instance, which I'm getting next week, that they, you know, I get a frame that I put the newest picture in front of, and then I just go until I can't fit anymore in there, and then I'll, you know, put those away. But yeah, I don't have a solid answer, and I'm a photographer for that. You know, that's just the kind of transition that the world has taken with digital. But there are some apps that I have been thinking about looking at, that they send books to you. You fill up like 30 photos, and it sends you a book. If you're someone that really likes books, like I do, and the kids love having the physical books. So
Ryan's parents usually do one, I think one a year, with like Shutterfly, I feel like I want to say, that they'll make a photo book of him and his daughter.
yeah,
And then they
that's
give it to him
awesome.
for like Christmas or his birthday or something like that. And so then it's just a year's worth of memories. And, you know, on the binding, if you were to put it on the bookshelf, it says like what year it is. So that's a
Yeah,
cool idea too.
I
yeah.
was just thinking that sounds like the perfect thing to give grandparents for Christmas. I'm making a note.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. It is.
I
It
love
is.
it.
It is neat. And this past year, she did a puzzle made out of a picture for Father's Day, and put it on like a poster for him to hang up, which kind of got shuffled around and moving and whatever. And now she's got a couple pieces she's got to put back in. But there are definitely some cool, like, I've only ever looked at Shutterfly as far as ordering pictures into something. Like I have coasters of a picture that's an American flag with an eagle flying in front of it that I took. I can't even tell you honestly where, but mix.com, that's what I've never heard of that one too. But that was a picture that, so my dad was in Vietnam So every time I see an American flag, that's automatically, that screams my dad to me. And then eagles, I've always been told, are a sign of good luck. So to have both of them in the same thing, like I was like, I have to do something with this. So I made it into coaster, something that we use daily. And it still gives you the opportunity then to enjoy the pictures that you took. But I will definitely check out mix.com. And Amy, you've got a good Christmas idea going. And it has been fantastic. Does anybody else have anything they want to share really quick? We are over about 1 minute. Oh, mpix.com. Okay. I will look into that, and thank you ladies all for sharing your hour with me.